So I started the recording. And Mr. Mayor, if you want to call it to order.
Yes, I'd like to call the month of May's HCDPA meeting to order. It's now 5 o'clock. Logan, if you want to give a roll call. Oh, I mean, roll.
Gotcha. Board Member Johnson.
Present.
Board Member Joyner.
Present.
Board Member Morris.
Present.
Board Member Marante is not present, and Board Member Smith is not present yet. We do have a quorum. So next, the minutes.
Yep. Everybody got a chance to look over the minutes? Yes. If there's no changes or additions, like motion in a second to approve the minutes. That's it. All in favor? Aye. All right.
Great, and then I can take it over, hand it to Michelle. I know she has a time crunch here, so we're going to kick it to her first. And I can kind of share the minutes from her last meeting.
Thanks. So I sent all this, but the committee met last week, shared the minutes with you guys. We're not meeting in June, but we will meet in July. The committee voted to recommend to you all to roll over the CD at Union County, the same amount, and just roll it over again. So that was their recommendation. And the only other thing was just Hudson Ridge update. Spent about $5,200 in the last month. That went to 6 households, 12 people. Seeing more and more need for, so like a couple of years ago, we were seeing a lot of bathroom needs from the pandemic. It's been more and more security deposits, first month's rent. So this past month, there was no back rent. There was 3 current rents, 2 for the first month rent, one for security deposit. So seeing more as people are moving and just don't have the funds for move, it's been helpful. And also interesting, how electrical bills this past month hit a lot of families, and some families only need like $100 or so for the rent, but just kind of showing how tight a lot of the household finances are. And one person who got Hudson Ridge was unhoused, and they were able to have Hudson Ridge to move into an apartment. So that's, I think, that's everything from me. Any questions?
Thank you, Joe.
And then I can kind of take it over for the administrative portion. The audit was finalized. It was posted to the Paris, which is the New York portal where we post that, where we list, our procurement policy and things like that all on our website. Next up would be record management. I was in there a couple of days this month. I sent Chris some pictures of the HDC boxes that certainly kind of look like they're HDC boxes. I need to kind of go through and make sure that none of that is HCDPA files mixed into them. And then I'm just going to reach out to them. And Chris recommended sort of cataloging all my interactions with them just so it's all on a record, more records. And then also there is a filing cabinet that I haven't really gotten into the weeds yet, but that says planning board on it.
I was just going to ask you that. Did you see anything else?
Yeah, so there's a filing cabinet, and like I said, I haven't gone through the individual records yet. But if that is the planning board and doesn't have HCDPA records in there, that's something I think I need to communicate to you and the clerk, because the clerk keeps all of the planning board files. Is that correct? Okay. Oh, Chris, I think you're muted.
The archives, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I need to verify that those aren't HCDPA files, and then contact the clerks. And I mean, the key to this is if there are files that don't belong to us, I should have, posted the pictures, but this room is just like covered in box. One wall is kind of organized somewhat nicely, and the other, they're just heaped there, which I appreciate DPW moving them, but it's enormous. So if I can start shedding some of these files to the rightful owners, then it's a more manageable problem, and I don't have to really go through it with a fine tooth. And
once you get finished, it's only going to be HB 3A.
Yeah.
So nothing for anybody.
And well, they don't want the files there long-term is the issue. So I need to, get the files that do belong somewhere else to those people. And then the next step is the HCDPA files. I have a guide, basically, what files you need to keep for 6 years, what files you need to keep forever. So the next step would be finding the files that we don't need to keep that aren't, historically important, and then working with the clerks and get rid of and destroy those files. So that's the next step, is actually doing that and whittling it down even further, because eventually these files need to live at City Hall in the basement. But as they are right now, it would take up way too much room. So that's kind of the process.
Eventually, some year and we will be able to.
Yeah, that would be the goal, to get, a grant to put these all on like a digital archive, because, there are historically significant files that should be, accessible, and that would be cool if they were accessible just and organized in that fashion. Yeah. So that's where we're at with that. We also had someone reach out to us in 1995. They got, I feel like we should keep this anonymous. I'm sure Chris, that's probably the best practice, but someone got a mortgage through us and Housing Resources, and they want to transfer the deed to their child. And it looks like there was a certain amount of money that wasn't paid to us. Chris, if you want to chime in and,
This is just a record search. They think that they paid it off, and you're just looking for records that confirm that from our side. So
got it.
That's the record you're looking for. Yep.
So that's part of me kind of going through all this, is try to verify that. I've tried to verify it through the files that are just kept on the computer and kept on, the city cloud, and haven't been able to do that. So it's a manual search.
And you might also prioritize the audits. You may be able to track it that way.
Make a note of that.
Okay.
So that covers the record stuff. The other thing that's sort of important, as Michelle mentioned this, is our CD matures June 13th. So, and we need to do it within a 10-day span. So what we have it in is a 5-month CD that matures in June 13th. The HTF is, comfortable just moving all of the money over into another 5-month, which is great if we can keep that all together, it earns more interest. We all know this. So that's something we would need a vote on, whether we take their recommendation to move it to another 5-month CD at the Bank of Greene County.
Do you want to do a motion on that, record?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, do a motion. And then you want me to do
Second. Excuse me. Aye.
any opposed? Okay, so you're the chair.
Okay.
Great. The last part of my little administrative portion is the appraisals were sent out. We do want to start, using the committee we established last month. I know Dominic's not here, but, in the next month, start putting that together, thinking about those 2 properties, more parcels, but 2 properties is kind of the way to think about it, and how to properly list them and, go about selling them.
Yeah, so we're gonna, find out more about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I sent those appraisals. It was included in the materials today too. It's a long document, but you can ask me and I can tell you the address, and you can control F on your computer and find that portion. Make it easier.
So has the committee identified any potential realtors?
We haven't even gotten together yet. Dominic did send me a text, I think yesterday, and as soon as we get together, I don't know if I'm supposed to send out an email to everyone, whether you're on the committee or not, just let the other people that's not on the committee know that we are meeting, or is it just for the committee?
Again, Teresa, it has to be a public meeting, so you should work through Logan and notice the meeting. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll do that once I get everybody together on one day.
Yeah. Check in.
What is that for? That's for the committee, that's for the committee we just formed last month.
Yeah,
So how about the finance committee within this group? Is that a public meeting also?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got two different committees, two different meeting dates.
yeah, if you want to meet, I mean,
Because we
there's,
haven't done anything this month in either category.
But we did discuss that we would meet after this meeting, right? Like we wouldn't meet a different day, we would.
Oh, yeah, but Dominic's not here, well.
No, not this meeting, I'm
Yeah,
saying
but we could-
HCDPA meeting.
So the finance can be after the regular meeting.
Right,
Sounds good, yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember, but I agree with it.
And since you started the email thread.
Good. You don't understand, I read a lot. Yeah, sounds really good. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we can we kind of, well, we can't do it without Dominic.
no, because you're gonna, yeah, I mean, quorum would be 2 people in that, so I guess you could, but,
For next month's meeting, after the meeting, we have the finance committee.
No, we have the.
the dispersal of properties or
Right,
whatever.
what do we call it, the property committee?
Yeah.
What do we call it? Does anyone remember what it was called?
Chris gave it the name, so I'm sure. It's
Property
the,
disposition. Property
yeah,
disposition.
So
Yeah.
the property disposition, committee will meet next month after the meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
let's make sure everyone's availability, because then I have to reach out to the clerks. They post the time. That has to be, more than 7 days in
so
advance.
I'll send Dominic a email.
Yeah.
Asking him if he's available.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
And then,
And then when is the finance meeting? The finance committee within this,
yeah, I mean, there's nothing scheduled, but if the finance committee
Because I-
would like to meet,
yes,
it would be the same thing. So I forget who's on.
and that's public also, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta think about that. Can that be after the?
So finance is Teresa Joyner, Rhonda Smith, and Dominic Moranti. So it's the same 3
Same
people.
3 people.
Okay, then that could be, do a 3-in-1.
Right.
Yeah.
How fun would that be? Hang out for a couple hours.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody's got.
You might as well, yeah.
Yeah, might as well. So it's just, it'll be after the
Right,
property disposition, yeah, because we have to meet
right.
and, just has to.
And I don't feel like they would be long.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
does Chris have that?
Have one, the meeting
minutes
and,
of the meeting that we're gonna be.
yeah, we can, we'll include her on the email, make sure everyone's availability and,
Yeah.
I think stacking them makes sense. Make sense to me after
And
the day
it'll
off.
be public, we'll keep it on, and you have to say because you're doing it in video.
Yeah.
So you don't trust
Yeah, no, cool. That all sounds good. We can verify availability and
Okay, for that.
report.
And I would have to have an agenda.
Yeah.
Both meetings,
Yeah, I can help you with that too.
we'll do.
Great. So our next portion is financial.
Do you just put the agenda?
Yeah. So the financial report, you have 4 invoices that, some are broken up into more. You have my invoice, you have RCMP that includes all of April, but the HHA contract work and the general work. You have the April and a little bit of May audit bills because we finished the audit. And then the Barton and Logic Juice bills. That's
And you and I reconcile
we reconciled, all of our bank accounts. And then there's one more thing that I'm not sure. So we ran out of checks, so I wasn't able to print out enough checks for everyone. So for all the different invoices, I talked to the bank. They said it's $134 for 250 checks, which would last us a couple years just for the general account. I have some discretion just in my contract to spend less and whatever, but, I want to bring it before the board first to say, this would be the cost of getting those checks, which, we need
$134 for 250. How
check.
many checks we write a month?
Like this month, we're writing, 4.
Do they not do smaller ones?
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
This was the sort of, I don't know, the good deal that, you buy this much in bulk, and this is how we've done it in the past. And it's also, they're more expensive because they're the 3-panel checks, because you want a receipt for that we have, and you have a receipt for the receiver. So it's not like a normal checkbook. And it also makes it so, we can print these out.
230,
250.
54 cents a check.
That's a
These
good deal
business
for
checks.
3-panel checks.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a little check, I'm sorry.
yeah, but yeah, it's
I'm
not like that.
kind of confused, but I just don't make checks anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have seen them, they're the 3-panel checks.
Yeah.
They kind of look like that, 3 panels, so everyone gets a receipt, it's,
Mhm.
So if we want to make that part of, the decision, whether or not to pay the bills, including the expense with Bank of Green County.
So I'll put a motion on the table. To spend that, to spend,
To pay all the invoices or just the?
no, to, you wanted a motion to get the checks first.
Sure, yeah.
You actually need that, because we allow you up.
I have the bandwidth,
Oh,
yeah,
you don't need that?
not necessarily,
He has up to, I believe, that he can use on the debit card to pay for petty.
yeah,
So it's just notifying us that you're gonna do that.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, so.
so you approve of what I'm gonna do,
Yes.
basically. Okay, so then we still have the 4 other, which is for me, RCMP, the audit, and Barton and Longitude.
But still, okay, let me just go back to that. You can spend up to $500, but you still have to let us know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good practice. I'm gonna let you guys know beforehand.
All right. So what
Well,
was,
there might be times when you cannot let us know, where you might need toner or paper or something, you need
Mhm.
staples, and then you tell us.
you have to.
Spend $10 on paper staples. That's why we have allocated.
That's why that's in the contract, yeah.
If you can let us know ahead of time.
I do.
In your best interest. What's next?
We need a
We need the
motion on the bills.
Oh, okay. Can I get a motion to, pay all the bills that we just talked about?
I think the motion.
I was gonna say, you make the motion.
Okay, I make a motion to pay all the bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because I'm the chair.
Busy day for me.
Acting chair at
And
this
it's gonna be
time.
a busy week for me, so. Hey, I'm not perfect. I
No,
don't
none
know
of us.
anybody that is. Not on this earth.
Mm-mm.
So go right ahead, sorry.
Cool.
All in favor? Aye.
Any opposed? Because I think we're supposed to say that too. Okay, pass.
Cool. So that brings us on to the resolution. We already did the CD, so that's all good. Floodplain news, one of the invoices was for $104 for them. I don't believe things are finished with them yet. They are finished, Chris?
That's correct. They're not finished. We are still waiting for this as-built survey.
Got it.
Now talk about what we're doing to move this out of this particular board.
It is going through council, and Crystal Beck is working on language we talked about at council meeting. She's working on local law to move it into, code enforcement.
Which is great. There's probably more stuff down that.
And that's gonna be heard at the council next month.
I don't know when Crystal's gonna have it ready. We talked about it at the last council meeting.
They all know that it's
Okay.
coming, okay.
We're waiting for this to wrap up. That's all
I
I'm
want
gonna
to see what you're saying. Because we have the money.
So that takes us to new business, termination of properties. I'm just kind of leaving it as a placeholder. We kind of discussed it with our new committee and what we're going to do.
Yes.
And meet and try to dispense with those properties and the HTF updates. We already got those. So that gives us to public comment. The public. No comment.
Ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Because